You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, 27th day of November, 2019. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at cfrn.net on the right-hand side of the page. Click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds, and that will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. On the days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, not to worry. Grab any internet-connected browser and point it to cfrn.net/live. And there you'll find a live real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds, brought to you by the good folks at YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. Okay, let me bring up a chart. Let's go. S&P 500 Emini Futures. 4-hour chart. These are the monthly trading zones for the month of November. And here we sit, perched right at top, 31.45. Let's look at it from a daily perspective. Almost there. Swing high so far, 31.50 and a quarter. This week's highest weekly trading zone, 31.52 / 31.53. And on a 30-minute chart, this is what that looks like. A little bit of a head fake right here. Appeared that we might go down to test this swing low, but we held. We're now back above the BBC. We're building a green candle. Only obstacles between us and the weekly trading zone overhead would be right there and right there. Call it an area. Could we melt up into that zone before this session ends? It's certainly possible. Markets are closed tomorrow. They will be open on Friday. We'll be off tomorrow, but we'll be here Friday. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. Starting here in the US, these are the cash markets. Currently, the Dow down 4.5, NASDAQ up 47, S&P up 8, and the Russell 2000 up 5. In the commodity basket, crude oil down 61 cents, trading 57.80 last. Gold down $5.60, trading 1461.80 last. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei posted a gain of 64 points. Shanghai lost 4. Hang Seng gained 40. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE gained 26, DAX gained 50, and the CAC dropped 3 in some pretty quiet pre-holiday trade. That gives us a mixed day in Asia, a mixed day in the UK, and so far it's a mixed day here in the US of A. Let's go to Michael, get a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning. Michael, if you're ready, take it away.
I am ready. Here we go. Hey. Oh, hang on. I gotta hit the OK button. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Alright. There. Alright.
Alright, you got it.
Alright. Let me open this page up. Alright, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go to the home page at CFRN.net. That will put you right here. Click on apply.cfrn.net right underneath 5-day free trial right there. Oops, I forgot to say. Today is Wednesday, the 27th day of November. Scroll down. I mean, you could also click here, or you could click down here. Any one of those will get you to this page. You could also just go directly to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. In the right-hand column, all we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number. Hit the register now button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay? We don't know you took the trial if you don't click the confirmation link. All right, next. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you could read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom of it. Today, as I said, is the 27th day of November 2019. We made 4 ticks on the euro, 8 ticks in crude. That put us at plus 105 on the morning session. Today, it took 76 minutes and 4 trades to get to $105 a contract, and that's all we did. It was 4 trades today. It was really slow trading this morning. We had a couple of nice trades that I didn't get filled on, but we ended up, doing the job, doing the job anyway, or getting the goal. On the month now, we're at 2,816. That's over 19 days, averaging 148 per month. And on the year, we're at 33,602. That's over 216 days, averaging 155 per day. Okay. Now, let's go take a look at what did or didn't happen today. This is gold. We rolled to the G contract of 2020 on the gold. Okay, we did that this morning. The volume was about double what was on the December contract. So it started out really choppy, just not giving up anything. Then it made a big leg up, which was good. And it came back down, bounced off the BBC right here at 10:02. But this all happened pretty quick, it seemed like. Yeah. And I didn't get filled. Then it started to change directions again. I was pointing out this morning that this is a head and shoulder pattern. Here's the head, here's the shoulder, here's the other shoulder. And I said, unless we break the neckline, which was right down here, we're probably not going to get any more trade setups. And it finally broke the neckline. Going into the low of the day right here, there was a shorting opportunity right here, I believe. No, we had to break this dynamic support first. And it turned around, and it started to go up during the break. And there was one long opportunity there. And that was the day so far with gold. Okay. Now, I was thinking it was going to loosen up during the break. That was my thought. But, well. And this is the euro. And you can see that it was in a slow grind down right here. But we didn't get any trade setups that we could take because it was going into the low of the day. Then it turned around and we go to bounce off the BBC right here for plus 4 ticks. And it turned back around, dropped back down near the low of the day, too close to take a trade. And this was during the break anyway. And then it pretty much just stalled out during the break. Crude, we missed one really nice trade on crude. But our first trade was right here. We picked up 1 tick on that one. We missed this one right here. I know a lot of the guys in the room this morning got their goal for the day on that move. Some of them got their goal for the day, like me, on this move. And we picked up 6 ticks here to put us at +7. And 1 more tick here to put us at +8. Then it just kept going into the low. And my number for this coming week is 58.25. 58.25. So if we continue dropping over here, then we'll start looking at call options. Okay. Now, during the break, let's see, we had a shorting opportunity right there. Then flipped around and gave a long opportunity right there. Both of those probably would have been break-even trades. Okay. And on the ES, it was just garbage all day. All day. And it still is. You see how tight the range is? 31.50 down to 41.75. There's just nothing to say about it. All right. If anybody has any questions, type them into the box, and I'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, I am going to go here and tell you, if you want to take the free trial, and you haven't, go to the home page at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial. Apply.CFRN.net. If you click on that, you'll be brought to this page, EminiTradingSchool.com, where all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. And you click on Register Now, and you will be sent a confirmation link. you must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. Okay. Okay. We'll go back and look at the spreadsheet one more time. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you could read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today we made 4 ticks in the euro and 8 ticks in crude oil. That put us at plus 105 on the morning. Today it took 76 minutes and 4 trades to get to the to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $105 a contract, and we took a total of only 4 trades today. So on the month now, we're at 2,816. That's over 19 days, averaging 148 per day. On the year, we're at 33,602. That's over 216 days, averaging 155 per day. Now, again, that is one contract, 2 hours per day. All right. The goal is to get you to 10, 20 contracts. So you can do the math. All right. And that's it. That was it for the morning session. With that, we can pass it back to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Recap of the recap.
Today it took 76 minutes and 4 trades to get to $105 a contract.
That's bingo.
It is.
What's your weather going to be like?
It looks like it's going to be wet. Right now in the cul-de-sac, there are kids everywhere. But it looks like it's going to be wet tomorrow. And, we have...
Because parts of the country are just getting tore up. I mean, it's bad. Even northern Arizona is going to get... There's a storm that hit the west coast. It's going to hit Oregon, and northern Arizona is going to be... they're suggesting no travel in northern Arizona. Yeah. But, I mean, but that's the light part of it. I think other parts of the country are getting hit even harder, even worse.
Yeah. Jada's brother and family are coming over from Raleigh tonight, but I don't know what time they're supposed to get here. And yeah, so we're gonna have 6 extra people in the house.
Well, that's always fun.
Yeah. No. We get along.
Oh, it looks like we're going to get more rain too next week, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like, looking at that right there, the Thanksgiving weather map, rain and snow. I am right in the middle of the dark green.
Right there. I think Idaho or Iowa won. They're supposed to get it really, really bad. Tim's up in Sisters, Oregon right now. That's where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted a picture in Telegram yesterday. I thought it was snow falling, but then when I actually watched it on my phone, the audio kicked on and I could hear that it was rain pouring. So anyway, if you are going somewhere for the holidays, be careful. Be careful out there.
Oh, fortunately, they're coming here. Sadly, though, we're cooking on the grill. So I'll be outside.
Our holiday travels are about 30 minutes west of Phoenix to Verrado, which is a new development out there, becoming its own city. For dinner with the relatives, and then round trip back home. And that's it.
Yeah, I think
we'll be here Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Markets are open all day, or are they open half a day?
Probably half a day. I'm not sure. I should probably check that, but it was definitely my plan to be there Friday morning.
Okay. Guys, on this chart right here, you can see I drew these little rectangles just a few minutes ago, and I said there's potentially, resistance. This is an obstacle on the way to the zone. And again here, and this candle really tells the story. It marched right up there, knocked on the door, and beat a retreat. That doesn't mean it's over. It may just be backing up to get a running start so that it can power through there. But this just shows you how important support and resistance is, especially when trading the S&P 500 Emini Futures. If anybody tells you support and resistance is old-fashioned, it's dead, it doesn't work anymore, I beg to differ. It seems to work perfectly fine. Okay, let's take a look at the results from last night. Have a recap for the week of logic, courtesy of Valerie. We have issued so far this week 27 total alerts, 6 never triggered, 2 are in the works, 19 actionable alerts. We don't have anything stopped out yet this week. Don't be lulled into a false sense of complacency because we average 20% each and every week. So this week, hey, we had a good week.
Yes.
What can I say?
That's a good bingo.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thank you. Okay, so that takes care of logic. Now let's take a look at the concierge from last night. And if you want to grab a screenshot, you certainly may do so. John's supposed to be scooting in here any moment now. Go ahead and.
Okay, I'll keep my eye out for him.
Okie doke. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. All right. On the S&P, consider being long 31.47, and we find 31.47 right about here. There we go, 31.47. All right, so our swing high, 31.50. So that's 3 S&P points, $50 a point, $150 per contract traded. It's on the first trigger. The second trigger took us to 49.25. So there's 2.25. And the third one so far has taken us to 31.49. So another 2 points. So 3 tradable moves off of the trigger, and no trigger on the short side. All of the markets, indices anyway, with the exception of crude today, have been sort of up and away. Here's the Dow. Last night's alert for the Dow was to be long 28,160. And we just brushed up against it right here. And we got a swing high of 73. That's a whopping 13 points at $5 per point. Keep in mind, triggers are a lot like weekly trading zones. When price gets there, a decision has to be made. Continue the march or retreat. And sometimes there'll be a little of this as the market makes up its mind. These are 30-minute candles. You got a little doji sitting right there in the middle, which represents indecision. Okay, so the Russell market's just very, very flat here. Number on the Russell, considering long 1635, and again we're just now approaching that. That's how quiet the markets have been all night. If you were up all night trying to trade the markets, how did you stay awake? All right, 1635, yeah. So the swing high so far is 34.80. So again, this is an example of how price will react around these triggers, very similar to how they react around weekly trading zones. It's a decision point. Market has to make up its mind based on order flow. Are there enough buyers in this case to continue the march north? And if not, if the order flow is overly populated with sellers, then we get a retracement. But buyers are very comfortable here They've bought it all across here. And after this run up, we're turned away at the trigger. We come back down to this area of support where the buyers were quite willing to take it back up. And then on this pullback, they even came in early. There's a low, a higher low, an even higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. If there's ever a definition of a melt up, and that's what they're using on all the financial shows today, this is indeed such a thing. So, S&P, Dow, Russell, crude oil. We had inventory numbers today. What kind of numbers did we get, Mike?
We did. We did indeed have inventory numbers today. Let me go and check it out because we had API numbers and we had natural gas numbers as well. Hang on. On the crude inventories, we had a build of 1.6 million. They're expecting a draw of 0.5. And the natural gas, it just came out a little while ago. We had a draw of 28 billion, and they're expecting a draw of 25 billion. We have the beige book coming out at 2 p.m. as well. That's low impact. But we had a lot.
The beige book the beige book is considered low impact now?
On my screen, it is.
Is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep. And that's coming out at 2.
58.40 on crude, consider being long. And that's with the consideration that just sitting right overhead, weekly trading zone, 58.50/55. So this is the kind of activity we would expect. This is some wide-ranging consolidation, but consolidation nonetheless. You can see all the candles are still kind of joined to the hip here with the zone as it sends it back to the trigger. Swing high was 68. So it's a 28-cent move. Back below the trigger, $10 move. Back below the trigger, and another $10 move before it heads south on these inventory numbers, where we hit the sell side of the alert, and that number was 57.95. Yeah, from 57.95 we made it down to 57.60, so that's a 35-cent move, $350 per contract traded. That's basically if you're still in it right now. No sign of an exit signal. The other markets didn't even get a move on, so can't expect an exit signal there. But we would expect one here on crude. This is an extended move. Price appears as though it's starting to do the sideways walk right here, and that's something we always look for. Once the sideways walk begins, then look for the step line to cross, in this case, red and falling. On the long side, you're watching for it to cross blue and climbing. Simple by design. Okay, that covers crude. Let's go to the NQ. On the NQ, consider being long, 84.09. 84.09. All right. Initial swing high, 84.30. So 21 cents. Sounds about right. 20 cents at $20 a point, or 20 points at $20 a point. $400 per contract traded. And then 84.09 up to 41. Call it 30 cents or 30 points. $20 a point. $600 per contract traded. Probably right there, the best move of the session. Brought to you by the good folks at the NQ. Now there's a pretty steep little trend line right here. That could be a bearish candle there, or it is. It's green, I'd rather see it be red. You could have a nice little move back to the BBC. It holds, and then perhaps sometime Friday, we find ourselves up around this. This is the highest weekly trading zone for the NQ, 8470/71, and the NQ definitely leading the pack to the upside. Let's go to gold. This is the last one. Gold. Consider being short. 1457. You see John there, Michael?
Not yet. Nope.
Let me ring his charm.
Okay.
All right. So from 1457, we made it down to 1452. It's a 5-point move. $500 per contract traded. The zone is at 50.51. That's a current this week zone. I thought it was. Hang on, it's not. I beg your pardon. Let me fix this. Thought I adjusted all of them yesterday, but apparently not. Okay, 58.59, that's a zone. 65.66, that's a zone. So the problem child, oh, and that's a zone too. I did get them right. I don't know why it looks so horribly wrong at first, but it's right. So here, pull back to the BBC, which should turn out to be good resistance. That's what we anticipate. And that will send gold back down to the zone. Already walking sideways here. And on a short trade, you're looking for a green close above the step line after it crosses over. $500 per contract move so far. With a pullback, I don't know if this pullback will get above the trigger, but look for another leg to the downside. So that is all of it. The S&P, the Dow, the Russell, NQ, gold, crude, and that's going to do it for this week. Oh, and
John
gold.
just popped in.
Hi there.
Hey, John, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
And to you as well.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, you know, kind of exactly what I said was likely to happen. We did rally into the close yesterday, continued higher during the night, came back to give an opportunity for people to buy this morning, the dip. And right now it looks like we're on a pretty strong run going into Thanksgiving and probably a gap higher on Friday. You know, listen, last year, it might be different this year, you can never tell, but last year, remember, we had a brutal pre-Thanksgiving sell-off, and I think the first time the market rallied was actually the Friday after Thanksgiving last year. So the odds of us gapping higher are fairly solid, unless something drastic happens, you know, over the weekend or over the holiday. So that's the point. I would also say that the pullback this morning, this leads on to what we were discussing yesterday. You know, it actually gave a terrific buy signal on this first dip down this morning. We didn't go negative on the NASDAQ. We did on the Dow. I think we're back up in we're not quite back up. We're still a bit negative on the Dow right now, but everything else is green.
NQ is doing the best job to the upside. Here's the Dow.
Which one?
The NQ.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Well, that's why I kind of, specialize in the NASDAQ, because it's the leader, both up and down. And when the NASDAQ's going up like this and the Dow's weak, it's really a buy signal on the Dow. I wouldn't necessarily buy the Dow. Look at one of the lessons that everybody should know is, as an amateur, there's always a tendency to buy the weakest. Like if the soybeans are soaring and the wheat is soaring and the corn is, hasn't soared yet, it's never a good idea to buy the corn. you want to be buying the strength, you got to go with the strength.
Interesting. That's an interesting thought. Okay.
Yeah, and it's the same with these indices. If the mid cap is the one that's leading, the mid cap is actually the best bet, and the second best bet is probably the NASDAQ. The third would be the S&P. The fourth would be the Dow, or the what's the other index called? The mid cap and
let's see. Talking about the Dow, the S&P, the Russell,
RTY.
the
What's that one?
The Russell.
Right. So they're kind of joined at the hip, although the mid cap tends to do better most of the time. So the fact that we had such a powerful pullback this morning and recovery, and what I was telling you yesterday kind of worked perfect here this morning to get back long. I obviously in the middle of the night, the correction actually happened, started, look, it's always hard. You come in this morning and they're knocking the market down, and it's a little bit hard to buy, because it's never easy when they're knocking the heck out of the market to sort of step in and go in reverse. But if following these new disciplines that I'm putting together, it actually worked just perfect. You wouldn't have got exact low, because you can't buy the spike, unless you're very aggressive.
Right.
It's a bit hard to do that. But once it starts to show its direction, the one thing that's been interesting is look, the behavior of the market is kind of changing all the time. If you remember, I used to say this before, Joe Granville, who was a good friend of mine, he, rest in peace, he used to always say, every time you figure out, the tricks of the market, or the holy grail of the market changes the locks. And because the behavior today is very much a function of the algorithms and the 60% of all the trades in the markets that are done by computers. So, another little tip here for a Thanksgiving benefit present to everybody is, when the new trend starts these days, it usually, the train's going to go to the next station or several stops down the road, and you can't. What happened today that kind of maybe I wasn't thinking of when we were getting hit right first thing in the morning. The market's at new all-time highs. Not the Dow, but everything else is, or at least the mid cap and the NASDAQ. So the market went higher than I expected. It didn't look like it was going to go. When it got knocked down. Didn't expect it to go up so quick today. I thought it would actually be a little bit of a more sluggish day. So you have to, these days, when you get a good signal, you got to go with it, and you just got to get your mind. You've got to get the trade on and try and let that trade go as far as it'll take you, because you know, right now with the you could have made about $600 from about 10 o'clock this morning, buying the Nasdaq, one contract of the Nasdaq to a few minutes ago. You know, that's a pretty nice trade actually for the day. And
our alert last night, John, for the NQ was to buy 84.09, and we put in a high this morning of 41.
Yeah,
it's about a 600.
Fantastic. I mean, a great
30
trade.
points, about a $600,
Yeah.
as you said, $600 per
Exactly.
contract trade.
Yeah, exactly on track with what I was, what my stuff basically told us. So, you know, there's probably going to be a little bit of a pullback here. Excuse me. Sometimes there is on a day like today. So you get a bit of an afternoon pullback. More than likely, it's going to rally into the close again ahead of Thanksgiving. Roku, which we've been following, you know, actually opened higher, opened $3 or $4 higher this morning, sold off a bit. So, you know, it might be a case of buy the rumor, sell the fact. You know, it's, I guess all the people who've been buying Roku have been reading this about it's the best-selling product on Amazon. And you
can get that you can get the Alexa Echo now for about $22, I think it is.
Yeah.
25. You can get the Fire Stick with Alexa built in for about the same price, $22.
Right. No, these are becoming you know, ubiquitous products. They're you know, there's about 100 million of them now in homes.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of amazing. Yeah, this is sort of a forerunner to. I mean, look, you know, 10 years from now, we will have a robot in the home that'll be doing all this stuff much better. You know, doing all kinds of stuff for you, I think. Who knows what they're going to invent in the next 10 years? There's all kinds of things that could be coming out that we haven't even imagined yet. So, and you know, probably a whole lot of it will be diagnostic things. You know, you imagine waking up in the morning and your robot tells you you're not feeling very well or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
You know, yeah, because maybe they were monitoring you overnight or something like that. So,
well, you know, the Apple Watch monitors your heart.
Right.
And the newest version of Alexa, I haven't heard a lot of talk about it, but this was discussed a few months ago that the next release of Amazon Alexa, she would listen to your heartbeat, and if she detected certain patterns or irregularities, she would tell you.
Yeah.
And if she told you, you should go to the hospital. That's what the article I read said.
Yeah.
I think people probably got a little freaked out about the invasiveness of it, and so maybe that's why Amazon isn't playing up that capability so much.
Yeah. So we're let's see, we're at 8,000, just pushing 8,700 now on the Nasdaq Composite, which is pretty phenomenal. We're not that far away from 11,000. I honestly think we're going to go to 11,000 on the Nasdaq before this thing is over. So you know, from now on, you've got to be you know, take advantage of dips. I had a feeling, I had a few stocks lined up that were favorite buys today. Facebook, which was off a little bit in the last few days, it seems to be breaking out.
Here's the NQ.
Amazon, Amazon is going great. I mean, look, this is a fantastic finish. I mean, it's only Wednesday, and look at where we are already. So, you know, by the time we get to Friday, we're probably going to be possibly pushing 8,500 on this. Am I right? Yeah, possibly could be. Sorry, 84. Yeah, we could be pushing 8,500 by the end of the week on this thing. So that's, and of course, once we get towards the 8,500, the magnetic pull of 10,000 Nasdaq is going to be pretty strong, and it's a little bit like,
and it's going to be quite a formidable hurdle, I would think.
Right.
We won't get it. We won't clean it. We won't clear it the first time.
No, it's going to be like Dow 10,000. You know, the first time, if you remember, there was a lot of drama and people getting too excited about it, and then frothy on CNBC, and it pulled back. What actually happened, just to remind everybody, was, you know, there was so much anticipation of hitting down 10,000, that it kind of, the media coverage was like saturation. And so it got, I think it got quite close, maybe it got to 9975 or something like that. Anyway, what actually happened was it pulled all the way back to, I think it pulled back several hundred points. And then it sort of got the energy up to take a long jump up through 10,000. And it eventually went to 11, a little bit over 11. That's why I think the NASDAQ is basically going to do a similar kind of performance. And it makes sense because look, the economy grew stronger than expected in the third quarter. It's probably even going to be revised higher before it's all over, I think. And the fourth quarter could be a bit of a surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up doing 3% this quarter.
Here's the Dow at 10,000, John, right here.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, you see that pullback it had. See how it got up there and then pulled back sharply.
Oh
see
yeah,
that?
this thing pulled back.
Yeah.
We pulled back to 7,500.
Yeah.
We were at 11,000. We were at 11,000 and a half, and it pulled all the way back to.
But look, you see how it nearly got up to 10,000 the first time, and then had that sharp pullback. You see that?
Yeah, right here. Yeah,
exactly.
We got up to a high. It looks like of like 9,100 or 91,000. 9,100.
So the outlook, Trump is probably going to be touting tax cuts in 2020. Maybe they got a few other things up the sleeve. All these are very powerful drivers for the market. So we'll have to see how it definitely. I think there's still a lot of look. We're closing up 20% plus on the year in the NASDAQ. 9 times out of 10, that you're going to go another 10% higher in 2020 at some point. And remember, unlike the previous election where the market topped out in August of 2016 and kind of it went into a gentle correction. I wouldn't call it a very pronounced correction, but what that correction told you was that the incumbent, i.e. Hillary, the continuation of the incumbent, if you like, was not going to make it. And so this year, next year with Trump, as long as everything happens, as long as there's no disasters along the way, we probably going to rally into the election. We're probably going to rally right into it, unlike 2016, and that could be the blow off. Because the record has been so phenomenal in the last 3 years. The expectations. Remember, we're going to be going into 2021, which could be a signature year of reversal. The expectations might be a little bit over the top, and maybe hard to deliver because this is a pretty hard act to follow.
Oh, look at this monthly candle we've got.
Yeah,
and think about where we were a year ago. Worst December since 1932.
Right, exactly. So it is a phenomenal reversal. And we really are going into a kind of a blow-off stage here that looks like it's got 30,000 in its sights, and potentially, we're probably going to go 30,000 plus, maybe 32, 33. And it could be a crazy year. 2020 could be a little bit like 2000, in a lot of ways.
There'll be lots and lots of fuel on the fire the whole year heading into the election.
Yeah. This is the first decent third year of an election cycle we've had. We've been cheated out of the last two because they didn't really go anywhere under the Obama model, both those third years. So we're finally getting, and we're probably going to have an upside acceleration into December, in December, because of the way this market is finishing off this month. So it really could be, especially if this is the record Thanksgiving and there's just unbelievable numbers coming out. I mean, look at to put up Baba, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, yeah, I think they hit an all-time historic high today, didn't they?
Well, that's the thing, and it came out of nowhere because this thing was. How about that? I mean, look.
Okay, let me go to daily.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a daily.
So Baba finally got recognition for the Singles Day, where it's been blowing.
No,
blowing
it's
all
not an
records.
all-time high because we've got.
No, yeah, but still, look, this is very, very significant because the Chinese market, as you can tell from the stock, has been really hobbled under these tariffs and everything, and has been struggling to break out. But this is a very encouraging sign to see this clear double breakaway gap. I mean, double breakaway gap to the upside is a very powerful thing. And look at how we were up against this previous gap. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Back
Yeah,
in June
sure do.
of 18. So
And we're right at
this thing's
potential resistance right here.
Yeah, this thing's probably gonna power higher to new highs before too long. Let's take a quick look at Baidu.
Baidu. Okay.
And the other thing is the Hong Kong listing of Baba is probably adding a tremendous amount of value to the stock. Just the fact that it's listed in Hong Kong, and to a very friendly audience, if you like, very supportive audience. Don't forget there's 1.5 billion people, 1.4 billion people in China. The buying power is just immense. So look at the Baidu has been a real dog, a real underperformer, but it might be ready if it can break up above.
It held strong at $100.
Yeah. If we can break up, look, when this thing gets its mojo, if you go back and see where it came from, when it gets going, it could really have a lot of upside.
Look at this. And then even
because
further
go back to about 2007 and it'll shock you
let's see, here we go.
how much this stock went up.
Here's 2007.
Yeah, even a little bit before that, I think it actually opened higher. Oh, there you can't see it on the chart, but it kind of had a strong opening, went down for a while, and then
Is this when it went public in 2005?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually got a pretty powerful structure to it when it decides to resume the next up leg, and that could be any day now. Look, this thing could rocket back up through 175 pretty easily. So I'd be paying a lot of attention to this Baidu from now on, and also to Baba as well. The one of the stocks that's doing quite. Can you put up a Newmont NEM?
Sure. Go.
Yeah, it's actually acting quite well. Newmont, it's quite. You remember we talked about that kind of double bottom there at 36. It's held at. I think it's poised for some strong upside soon. And if you could look at Royal Gold, RGLD.
Go.
Yeah, it's well off the lows. And what I noticed, we can take a look at it in a minute. Actually, you can see it on Newmont on a kind of a. You see how we've pulled back a little bit, and we're just starting to go a bit green here again on the Royal Gold. That could turn into a really big up move from here. In other words, it's kind of like a little one-two kind of a thing. And if we start going into a third wave, I think after Thanksgiving, we'll go, or sometime in December, we're going to see a move up in the gold. We don't seem to be, look, we did say this yesterday before the gold went down, that there's usually a bit of a hit on gold either right after Thanksgiving or sometimes before it. So I wouldn't rule out a spike down over the next 72 hours, trading hours or so in gold and silver. But I think that's an opportunity. If it doesn't happen, I think it's even stronger potentially for the metals. So, and look, the higher the market goes, the more value is going to come into gold and silver before too long. I mean, somebody pointed out, I think Apple, I'll have to get that, I'll have to reread this thing, but the gold market capitalization for the top 10 gold stocks is minute compared to almost every other sector out there in the market right now. And so when the money starts to flow into the gold stocks, you're probably going to see some upside that's going to be hard to contemplate. So when that time comes, and I would say that's unfolding before our eyes in terms of the way that Royal Gold went up. I mean, who'd have thought when you saw this thing back at 85 or so that it was going to run right up to 140 before this pullback. And I do believe that the next up phase will be in near vertical. It'll be, because look, if gold goes up just like a couple of $100 more, we sort of go up to 1,700. Can you imagine what it's going to do to Royal Gold? I mean, it's all net bottom line. It's all going to go to the bottom line. Every dollar increase, from above 1,500 goes straight to the bottom line in all these gold stocks. So the leverage on these gold stocks is going to be monumental if we start running up towards 2,000 or higher.
Russell 2000, 52-week high.
Wow, is that an all-time high on that thing?
No, it's not.
No, we were talking about that yesterday. It's very similar to the mid cap. So, it looks like we're going to go up and challenge the previous high, but in doing so, it may not be able to make a new all-time high versus
that must
the
be
rest.
the all-time right there.
Yeah. The other one is the transports. Actually, worth looking at those today, Dwayne, because I think the transports, again, we may have seen the high on the transports, and if that's the case, it does tell you that we're not that we're living on borrowed time just yet on this market, but at some point we're going to be living on borrowed time.
Now, all I've got is end-of-day data on the transports.
Yeah. It's actually it's down today, so it's it's a crazy world you live in. Maybe they bid the airline stocks up ahead of the Thanksgiving weekend, and now they're knocking them down a bit today. Well,
right.
Certainly got a lot to be thankful for. Thanks
Amen.
very much for
We really do, John.
everybody for listening, and we certainly appreciate sharing everything with you every day.
Yes, we do, John. You and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we're gonna be here Friday, so I'll be doing the show. So will you be here?
Great, I will for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Have a great Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Have a great
You too.
Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Yeah, have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Mike. All the best. Bye bye.
And here we are. Still quietly knocking at that door. Right there. Obstacle, resistance, and then further overhead. Hey, if you haven't taken our trial, go to eminitrainingschool.com. We're going to be here Friday. You may have the day off Friday. Maybe you haven't had a chance to hang out with us in the live training room. You should do that. The journey begins at eminitrainingschool.com. Just drop us your name, your email address. We'll get you hooked up, squared away. Not only can you be in the live training room with us Friday morning, you can use our indicators, our platform, real-time data. Find out if what we do is right for you. Let's go to our good word for the day. And we'll talk about a necessary part of the process. Psalm 32:8. Stand by. That was yesterday. We already did that. Let's fix it. Multi-part series, taking responsibility and risks. Habakkuk. Now, you don't hear Habakkuk preached a lot. My favorite scripture in the whole book is in Habakkuk. This isn't it, but there it is. No, Abdullah, that's not it. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. Missionary evangelist Daniel Kalenda writes, we can easily become frustrated if we don't understand that just as there are times and seasons in nature, there are also times and seasons in the process of fulfilling God's will. Years ago, a group of senior missionaries came together to discuss life principles they had discovered. Their purpose was to share this wealth of experience with succeeding generations. They'd all encountered common stages of transition in their ministries, and collectively, they identified a 5-step cyclical process that God had taken them all through. Bottom line here, timing is important. When executives at Decca Records told the Beatles, groups with guitars are on the way out, they walked across the street and signed up with EMI, and, well, the rest is musical history. So don't miss the lesson here. Each of us has been placed on earth as a caretaker, as a steward of God's business. And that's true whether you're a judge or a street sweeper. You've been given an allotment of life and charged with the responsibility of taking care of it, investing it, increasing it, and then presenting it back to God. Simply saying, I was afraid of failing, or I was worried about being criticized, or I just didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I had the right stuff. That excuse won't fly, because God gives you everything that you need. Perhaps not everything you want, but to complete His mission, His divine destiny for your life on this earth, He gives you what you need. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, excuses always replace progress. God will accept your trial and errors, but He won't accept your excuses for having not even tried. So I encourage you today, pray, accept responsibility, step out in faith. You may fail many times on your way to success, but if you keep trying and trusting God, you'll eventually succeed. I know. I read the end of the book. That's our good word for the day. As we head off into the holiday, I wish you and yours all the very best. Don't eat too much. Michael, any final words?
I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving, and yeah, don't eat too much. I know it's hard not to, but but don't.
If you're on the road out there, be safe. And when you sit at that table tomorrow, with friends, with family, with whoever you're blessed to have Thanksgiving with, try very hard, make a conscious effort to be there then. I always encourage you to be here now during the show, but tomorrow at that table, be there. Wherever your mind wants to wander, to the markets, to the charts, to the drama going on at the office, or the unrest in the church, just brush it aside and just keep bringing yourself back to the table, back to the people that you're blessed to sit down and break bread with and give thanks with. It's a special time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Amen.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.